Whoa. Snake, you're bleeding out.
Do-do, do-do.
Diddle-doo.
Boom.
Uh-oh.
There is something so satisfying about having a big gun with like lots of bullets. It's very emasculating.
Emasculating?
Well, for
Say
whoever
what?
the enemy is, I suppose.
I don't know. Getting shot multiple times with a big gun, I don't think that would be particularly emasculating.
No, I suppose not.
Fatal, I think, is the word you're looking for.
Lady.
One thing I do like about watching a playthrough of a game I haven't picked up in over a decade is like, how much of this do I remember?
Yeah,
How ingrained in my core memories is it that I remember this weird fucking niche thing about this game?
It's also one of those where like you probably don't know until you actually pick it up again and see does the muscle memory do the job for you as well. Like it's all going well watching me play it where like I would be in a similar camp to you. Probably haven't played this since the actual since it came out on the PS3.
No, I was a PSP player for this. I didn't even bother playing on PS3. I think I migrated my save file over to it and played it once with you and Mookie.
That's right, yeah, you did. Well, then, in that case, when you get to take control, this will be a moderately new experience for you.
Indeed.
Yeah. You get to see what it's like to be on a real controller.
Yeah, now that said, I did sink probably 1,000 hours into it on the PSP, so...
Yeah. It is, that's the one thing, it is a good time sink. Or at least it is at time sink. The PSP was a bit light on choices.
Yeah. Tomb Raider Legends.
Yeah.
Go on, Snake.
You should be able to get in the AI pod.
I like the AI pod gets stands up immediately and goes, oh, something is wrong. Something is very wrong. Intruder detected.
I've got such a migraine.
Pull out all the AI's memory boards before the pod's ejected. The black
How
memory
many
boards are locked.
boards are you gonna get?
Under the boards with icons over
I think there's only so many you can get anyway, in fairness. So obviously with no notion of what we actually need yet, I just basically just start from the left and work up my way through.
components that they control. Any boards you remove can be used.
I think it's only when we actually formally intend to make Zeke will I actually start being a bit more discerning with the packs.
Why did you give it a crippling sense of anxiety? It's all the boards I had.
So, well, my purpose. You're here to skate around. You're here to skate around Mother Base to the sound of this cutesy Japanese song. Oh God, why?
Which canonically your pilot is singing.
Oh, by the way, the pilot is underwater. Just don't ask questions.
Never ask questions. Snake, get out of there!
He did. He flew away. And now Team Rocket's blasting off again.
Whee!
And now it's time for some exposition.
I made it myself.
Who are you?
I work here.
And why are you climbing
Well,
down the stairs
used
that
to,
weirdly?
anyway.
And why are you like this?
And who might you be? You don't look like one of those mercenaries.
Yes, you definitely look like a kind of guy who's there catching butterflies.
Test.
A fighting entomologist?
Yeah, I specialize in butterflies. I'm here to catch Ulysses.
Ulysses? Huh. I didn't think they lived in Costa Rica. Morphos, maybe?
That's it. We need to get some before the Washington Treaty goes into effect.
Says here Morphos aren't covered under the treaty.
Huey, shut the fuck up.
Slipped my mind.
You
Well,
sure
stop
you're
picking
feeling
holes
all
and
right?
just enjoy the vibes.
Long story short, the butterfly got away. So how about it?
Like God, not everything is about you, Huey. You know. So
Yeah,
inconsiderate.
Huey, stop poking holes into my backstory, cover story.
And no.
What was that thing? What are they doing here?
Huh. Something tells me you're no ordinary entomologist.
Well, I didn't study the meaning of the word.
The nukes were loaded on that machine. The project's entering its final phase.
Project.
Obviously, like this game was just an excuse to get Christopher Randolph more work, but you know,
The base
his
scattered throughout
his
Costa
slight
Rica.
change in the voice acting is actually
The AI weapons,
is not too bad. Like there is a good discernible difference between Huey and Otacon.
I think it's the confidence level.
It is definitely there's a bit more he's a lot more adamant.
Develop unmanned
And the
weapons.
lack of crying over every female he's ever met.
Robots.
Yes, you can tell that I actually believe Huey cries
There's
in
also a
private.
flying type called chrysalis.
Yeah.
The cocoon.
Yeah.
Motor control, target detection.
So you're probably wondering why I haven't zoomed in on this part, and the reason is I went for a shit.
Are all controlled
Ah,
by
fair.
an electronic brain.
Yes.
There's no need for a human pilot. They can only follow simple commands.
Human pilots are dumb.
Why build them here?
Yes.
For the
And they
CIA,
should they're dumb and they should
invited
feel
me
bad.
a year ago.
That's who that guy was.
CIA's station chief for Central America goes by the name of Hot Coldman. Apparently
That's
he was some
clever.
sort of hero back at the height of the Cold War. He's the one running the show. We called it the Peace Walker Project.
Peace Walker.
I love it whenever like we do get the plot expanded in any Metal Gear game, it's always a strategy or a theory that is absolutely fucking nonsense.
Unmanned.
But
platform.
it works in a world like Metal Gear Solid that is absolute nonsense. You know what I mean? It's like it's like it's an idea that couldn't possibly work in the real world, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, this tank can walk, therefore it doesn't need threads. But threads are fine.
Supposed to be.
Yeah,
It can also launch a nuke anywhere on the planet, so why does it need to walk?
yeah.
It rains all year round.
I mean, you've established that this is on a small island. That yeah, why don't they just nuke this island?
Yeah,
Stop
I mean that
you
kind
guys.
of solves the issue there.
Legs, walking power.
It was also like, it was also kind of the overall kind of fallacy of the Metal Gears. Like every Metal Gear mecha had to have some level of selling point. Like Rex was like just objectively they kind of maxed out with Rex the first time around because it looked so fucking cool. And then they had Ray, which is obviously the amphibious model, if you like. So that was really like mass produced, but also nuclear like possible. And then like the more they went on, they either evolved into extinction like the geckos, or you had like let's go back into the past and you have Metal Gear Raxa, which is just a massive fucking satellite dish.
They'd actually
You know.
need to deploy dozens of
What was Pythagoras? What was its code name?
and to get it,
It was Gander is the one in Ghost Babel.
He's launching a nuke to prove.
Oh, Pythagoras was Metal Gear.
in his words, to prove that
Ooh.
if someone attacks us,
Oh, I've drawn a blank now.
we
Shit.
will strike back.
I'm thinking of the one that's in the second game. It's like the one from Hebrew, Al Kadesh, I think it is. The other
Metal
one I can't-
Gear
One side
Kodik.
launches nuclear weapons
Kodik, that's a
the other
Kodak. Yeah,
side
Kodak.
launches
Kodik,
nuclear
that's what it was, yeah.
which makes launching an act of suicide. In the end, neither side can
But like
use
those
it.
ones are just like absolutely fucking ridiculous.
It's
Like they
thanks to this
couldn't.
doctrine that the
Like they're all like
superpowers have avoided
big.
all
Like it's like the one in Phantom Pain, Salamandropus. Like that
At the very least,
clearly is just
prevented another
like an
world war
absolutely
from
like
breaking out.
unsustainable way to build a
The
mecha.
theory of nuclear
Like,
deterrence
No, the
exists
human
in
body is
the
full of frailties. If you make a
would
robot
happen
like
there's
that, you
no
kind of
guarantee
expose all the
suicide
frailties.
would follow
That's why you go for
through
something
retaliation.
sturdier, like an animal base.
There's the chance that a preemptive strike could destroy all the missile bases, render them unable to retaliate. But
I
the
mean,
biggest flaw in
that
the
is the
theory
plan,
that the
right?
decision to retaliate has to be made by human beings. Let me give you a real-world example. Let's say country X
Yeah.
launches first against country Y. If the people in charge of Country
And
Wire like you
thank
me,
God,
they're not
only
gonna
the
be able to
president
retaliate,
of
knowing
North
that they're
Korea,
fighting
China,
all
the
human
United
life.
States,
So the only
Venezuela,
way to limit
Germany,
deterrence there is the uncertainty
Russia
of retaliation.
have the option to do this.
And that creates a
And it's not like any of them are going to be senile old men that have no reason to continue, living or allowing the world to live when they see their time come to an end.
It chooses the appropriate
I
target
mean,
and launches a
it
retaliatory
sounds quite
nuclear
selfish of
strike
them.
every time, without
And that would be
using
absolutely
human
correct.
input to make the call. Launching a nuclear
We
strike
need more
against
movie
peace
stars to be
workers is
president.
tantamount to pushing the launch button against yourself.
Yes, because personally, I would trust Dwayne the Rock Johnson with nuclear codes.
Rendering our friends
I
in
trust
Country
him
Wire
over
completely
fucking
unable to
Kennedy.
launch.
Well, okay, resting brain there immediately said, "Mr. Kennedy." Yeah, I mean he's a bit of an
Yeah, a
asshole.
little
to be fair.
bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I mean, his kind of mic shtick got old really quickly, and then he got sacked.
And then
So
his
yeah,
version
yeah,
of
it was
deterrence will
fair
be
point.
complete.
And you believe him.
I believe in peace through nuclear deterrence.
I feel like if in this kind of like timeline equivalent, like if it was the case where like now you have like the likes of former TV personalities like Trump now running for the presidency. I think if you kind of scale that back to the 60s and 70s, President Clint Eastwood I think would be a very interesting choice.
I had no choice.
So
Dirty Harry.
Yeah, like literally he would just be dirty like just playing Dirty Harry in the White House.
If they do end up launching, it'll all have been for nothing. They've got to be stopped.
Well, thank God no nukes have ever been launched in the canon of this universe.
Yep, the world has actually been a very incredibly peaceful place, and let's hope that absolutely nothing ruins that.
It's kind of a hike.
In fact, there's absolutely no evidence that any bad things have happened ever at all in the world at this point.
Isn't quite finished yet.
What do you mean?
What do you mean it's not quite finished?
It's missing one last critical structural component. The AI.
What do you mean we forgot it?
Its brain. The
ChatGPT.
The electronic brain I was working on can only follow commands like "go there." Attack
Oh, that's right. This is when Kojima learned about the reptile brain and the mammal brain theories.
Yes.
in place of a human decision.
And he found it fascinating.
Something to analyze the huge volumes of data coming in and select an appropriate target for retaliation.
I mean, like, okay, we need to put this all in context, right? Like, at least Hideo Kojima was reading about all this and just putting it into his video game.
Yeah,
Like-
at least he was reading. What's your excuse, Fior?
Similar to the
Well, I was gonna say it was like at least he's only putting it in a video game, which is relatively harmless. Elon Musk thinks this is the future, and that's what the problem is. What he needed was to be like beaten as a child and made to go into game development.
Strangelove was recruited from
No,
the
you
States, too.
could just beaten as a child would have done the trick.
There's no
Yeah,
way
to be fair, actually, yeah, I think that's a fair point.
Man,
And
what a
you know what? Don't
bastard
stop.
Just the beatings will continue until you shut the fuck
Go to the
up.
lab and destroy Peace
Permanently.
Cerebrum. I'm pretty sure they haven't finished the final calibrations yet.
But it's all right now
I'll lend
because
you
he's
my
dead.
ID card.
He is
Get you
dead,
security
isn't he?
lab.
Yeah, I mean, all that ketamine did get him in the
Now,
end.
one more thing.
Thank goodness.
What's this?
Yeah,
A letter
yeah, it's about time to be honest.
Yeah.
I know. I'm glad. The one good thing Elon Musk ever did, killing himself.
Yeah,
Don't
yep,
read it,
yep, yep,
okay?
yep. It's the only way to save democracy.
what will you do?
How I learned to stop worrying and love the bomb.
I'm done with science. At this rate, I'm probably already halfway to hell anyway.
Not so fast.
Done with science, you
Why
say.
not join
So we
us?
should probably put you in the kitchen then.
Our places.
How good are you at curries, Dr. Hemrick?
You know what? We've already got one person with a broken leg. Let's put you on the combat team as well.
As it turns out, actually, I'm quite good at making jambalayas. Well, sir, you are hired.
Is jambalaya curry?
You're an agent, right?
It's kind of like a hodgepodge. It's like a...
I was a Cold War.
I thought it was a stew more so than a curry.
It's a stew, yeah, but it's well, we can jambalayas might be nice in the field as well. Let's be fair here. Come on, like
Snake. That name seems familiar somehow.
Death. Probably just deja vu.
It's also an animal.
See that there?
it's also
Down the
delicious.
cloud forest, see those ruins?
Yeah.
That's where you'll find Dr. Strangelove's lab.
I mean, not gonna lie, I'm actually quite glad with how that Pupa battle went.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Snake, the doctor's safe here with us.
Huey, how are you feeling?
Never better. This is quite the pad you've got here.
Wow, we didn't even have to brainwash you. You're actually just on board from day one.
Like it or
I'm
not,
fairly
everybody
certain he
here
was
calls you
already brainwashed.
By the way,
Yeah, I mean, this kind of
if
counts
you're
as
all
Stockholm
interested in
syndrome now at this
improving
stage.
your tech, by all means, assign me to the R&D section. I'm pretty
But you
sure
said you were
I'll be
done
able
with
to-
science.
Once we
You
get
lied
the
to me.
necessary materials and blueprints, we can start work on that bipedal mech.
I appreciate
I was
that.
done with science, but what about
Sure you're okay
engineering?
while you're working
Uh-huh,
for
see?
war.
It's just in a different
I'll be using
form.
it to keep past mistakes in check. If I can help thwart the Peace Walker project, I'm happy to do it.
Deterrence theory.
Deterrence
Huey
theory.
style.
Blow it the fuck up.
Anyway, if you need any intel on the enemy's weapons,
I call it the
electronic
Dr. Armour
brains,
theory.
contact
Let's
me.
make it
I've
worse.
been given my own frequency.
Sounds good to me, Doc. I'll do that.
Good. Whatever the means, you must put a stop to their plans.
Must I? Must I? You don't give the orders, Huey.
If you insist.
Hey, boss, you mind if we powwow for a sec?
What
Fuck
now?
you.
MSF rations.
Actually, that sounds...
That's,
No.
that's what I love about this. Like, hi, can we talk? No.
Sending some of them
Wait
to
until the
other
next board
countries.
meeting.
You mean dispatching marks?
How else are we gonna keep feeding the crew we have?
I know. You're right.
Okay, deploy troops. Select outer ops from the mother base menu. If it goes really well, we might even get new recruits, weapon design specs, or leads on new missions.
And if it
We
goes
can
really
deploy
poorly,
any
will we never
vehicles
see
with
them
large-scale
again?
weapons in
Yeah,
our arsenal.
win-win.
And if things don't go really well.
Kaz, are you saying that we should? This is the new gameplay mechanic that we'll only use once,
You're
just for
one
the sake of the
calling shots
playthrough?
here, boss.
Yes, Snake. How did you know? I just guessed.
I fucking love that though. And if it doesn't go well, Kaz, are you telling me I should lose one of my precious boys?
Are you willing to? Are you willing to sacrifice Moon Rice and Shallow Tail? Are you, Kaz?
Are you willing to tell Sea Otter that his husband Emu died in battle?
You know how they found love in the brig. Are you willing to give that away from them? What about Raccoon? Can you look into his eyes and tell him that he's going to war?
What about Gibbon or Mockingbird? You know it's a sin to kill a mockingbird.
Goodbye, Gibbon. Goodbye, Mockingbird. And all the rest.
Oh, I'm sorry, but Kazuhura insisted that you go off to fight in war. My brave little soldiers.
At that point, they were no longer little boys, but they were little soldiers.
Turns out the only frontier that they had was my heart.
The only thing they divided was my heaven.
Mate. Solid magazines. Well, something's going to be solid, all right.
Yeah, careful now.
Liquid
just
magazines. Well, they
just
better
be
be
very
waterproof.
I'm warning you now.
Riding magazines. Wow, we're losing all subtlety here.
That's it. Wow, magazine just for twinks? Fantastic.
Everyone loves the Twink magazine.
Motorbase really does cater for all tastes.
Alligator, no! Emu!
Look, man, you just have to accept it. These guys have to go to war.
My bluegill! And Maggie! Poor old Maggie! They never
That'd be
hurt
fun.
anyone. They never even had a chance.
It's an E rank mission. They're not going to die that much.
And if they did, it won't be serious.
Exactly. We can deal with mortal wounds.
But can you deal with immortal wounds?
Can you deal with psychological damage?
Yes.
Well, then in actually you're fine.
All right, you've got the armored vehicle battle there.
Let's get this mission started. Complete the mission and proceed to the Fulton recovery point. So we
Yeah,
can
I'm gonna
get
do
you
a bit
back
of
in time
side
as well.
content to
Good
wind
luck out
down
there.
this week's videos.